What's up, everyone? Welcome back to BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, certainly subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, definitely subscribe too. I am your host, as always, Rashid White. All right, let's get into this article right here. The Brooklyn Nets are actually projected to be the worst, well, worse than actually last year. So they're looking like maybe a play-in seed. Well, see, that's not the end of the world right there, because the Miami Heat was actually a play-in team this playoff series, and you actually seen what happened right there. So I wouldn't take this article over here with a grain of salt right there. So you see the title, Brooklyn Nets expected to be worse in the 2023-24 season. Now, I don't understand how they actually really come to that conclusion right there. They're actually saying that the team is not much better than last year. First of all, we actually got to see if the guys are actually going to actually produce and actually put the ball in the hole there, man. You know, like you had guys like Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Utah Watanabe, guys that really did not actually produce, gone right now. And you have some replacements over here. And especially I like the draft over here, man. You got to remember, like, a lot of these rookies, as long as they're not going against like top tier players and they're going against second unit players, then I think the Brooklyn Nets will actually be fine right there. And especially with Ben Simmons back healthy, he'll get the ball out to different players right there, put them in the best positions where they can actually thrive. You know, Cam Johnson will have some nice, easy, wide open looks, and that way, without really hard closeouts. So it says the Brooklyn roster isn't materially different compared to the 27-game stretch. Darius Baisley, Dennis Smith Jr., and Lonnie Walker are intriguing flyers, but they aren't. Well, listen, it's an upgrade from last year. All right, it's an upgrade from last year. And it looks like the Nets wire is actually projected for them to probably be a 7th or 8th seed. I mean, there's some things that they actually got to figure out if the Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton fit is actually going to actually work. I think it will. I mean, they're going to be like, you're talking about Dorian Finney-Smith. You're talking about Nick Claxton, Ben Simmons, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson. I mean, all 5 of these guys are great on-the-ball defenders. Now, there's only one problem, and Claude Smith, I do not want you to get really angry at me. He's a fan of the show right there, man. But listen, I told you before, man, this is not a fanboy channel. This is, real basketball analysis right here, man. So Spencer Dinwiddie can actually be a problem. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. So he's on an expiring contract. He's due for a contract coming up the following year, so he can probably play his arse off, or he can probably try to score and try to do too much to try to command some type of a contract. And this, right, I think he's 31 years old. I think this will be his last, like, a big contract in the range of, let's say, $40-50 million per. Now, you got to understand, too, that the Nets last year had Spencer Dinwiddie at the point guard position there. And I've been saying this. I've been saying it for the last 4 to 5 years, that Spencer Dinwiddie is not a point guard. He's a 2 guard. Spencer Dinwiddie actually wants to score. So, they lost, I say, about, the Brooklyn Nets lost about 10 games. 10 games when the ball was in his hands. And I think the Brooklyn Nets could have been the 5th seed and actually faced Cleveland, and they would have beat Cleveland, because having Jared Allen and Evan Mobley in the starting lineup is like a recipe for disaster right there. I mean, there's no spacing, and both of those players' offensive games was actually really, really limited. I mean, a high school coach can actually really exploit that matchup right there, and try to load up on Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and those guys, and force the ball out to Jared Allen and try to make him create, which he's not really great at. Same thing with Evan Mobley. I don't see it. I don't see it, especially like in Evan Mobley. I mean, there's certain flashes, but I mean, it's just not there. So I mean, and I believe that the Brooklyn Nets could actually advance to the next round if Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't the point guard. I mean, he turned the ball over a lot in the game situations, and then shot selection, not knowing what the shot clock is. I mean, there's a lot of he's learning. I mean, like I say, he's in training wheels right now, learning actually how to be a point guard. But now Ben Simmons and Spencer Dinwiddie on the floor together. And Spencer Dinwiddie can actually do what he do, is actually go out there, score the ball, get downhill. That definitely might be a plus for the Brooklyn Nets. Again, it's just not trying to do too much, just play within the offense. I think Spencer Dinwiddie would be fine, but like I said, he might be looking for a payday over here. And you've seen this with Kyrie Irving last year. He was actually looking for looking for a 4-year contract worth of $200-something million. So you see Ben Simmons would give him the ball, and the ball never came back to Ben. It was just Kyrie checking up shots within 18 seconds in the shot clock and not trying to move the basketball or anything like that. So I say, you know what? I don't want to really kind of give a prediction where the Brooklyn Nets will actually be. First of all, that they, if they get up to a good start, there's going to be like a lot of the veteran teams. The first 25 games, they're not going to really be like, it's still somewhat of a training camp, somewhat. It's still like a preseason game for the first 25 games. They're still trying to figure things out, figure rotations out. You got the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll see what actually happens with those guys. They may get off to a slow start. So if the Brooklyn Nets just get ahead of this marathon, which the NBA season really is, I think they'll be fine. They should finish, in my projections, with a healthy Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie playing the way he should be playing. I say 4th seed, 4th or 5th seed. And all right. So you guys actually let me know where the Brooklyn Nets will be at in the comment section down there. And remember to always definitely like, comment, subscribe, and certainly share this video. And when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you.